Good evening and welcome. I am Russ from Grass Chat, and welcome again to the first of several videos which are coming your way over the next about week and a half, because it is 2019 Men's Nationals preview and predictions time. I thank you all when you get here for joining me. And yeah, let's just explain what is going to happen for those who are new to the page. So what this is, I've done it for a few years now. I used to do it in a written form, but now I've decided to do the videos along with the Grass Chat page, because very weirdly I feel more comfortable doing these videos live than when I try and pre-record them. So for some reason I seem to flow better with words on what goes on. So we are going to look at men's Class 1 for the 2019 Men's National Championships. Again, for those who are new to this, what I will do is I will list all confirmed starters for the event. Obviously, they've all got to appear, they've all got to pass scrutineering and then make the start line. But according to the official list on the National Autographs website, these are the drivers who have qualified. I will also list all of the reserves who are listed, and also some notable non-qualifiers. That is the few who have actually featured well this year at major events, but haven't actually qualified for the National Championship. So we'll just let a few more people join in. 77 at the moment. I'd like to see that figure grow. Let me know who you are supporting in the National Championships in Class 1 tonight. Evening, Sam. Evening, everybody. So, yeah, as we go through, give a bit of a virtual cheer for those who you are supporting in Class 1. We're going to go through the list, as we said. It is down in an order which I am listing everybody, but that doesn't mean that because they're mentioned first in this video that they are necessarily the people I am predicting. So we're going to go through the list in a moment, and then once we've mentioned everybody, we will then list my prediction for the 8 finalists, and then after that I will predict the result going from 8th place to who I think will win. So let me know in the comments what you think, whether you agree with my prediction, whether you disagree with my prediction. But don't forget, at the end of the day, it's not a serious thing, it's all a bit of fun. If you are not predicted in my 8, then use that as encouragement and enthusiasm to prove me wrong on the big event in a couple of weeks time, because it is fast approaching. So we will start, as we have said many times already, men's Class 1 at the Nationals. We will start with the reserves, and if you was watching last night when I put a video out, I had a bit of a thing about the reserves and those who are joint when there are a place, 2 places, 3 places, etc. available. Now in Class 1 we actually have 3. They're listed as 3rd joint reserves, but they're actually 1st if you work it out properly. They are 3 reserves, all equal 1st. Those drivers are Matthew Doddridge in Forest 515, Lee Poole in Stroud 70, and Lee was he's actually 1st in the UK Championship. He's actually leading the points, but he hasn't qualified. He is 1st reserve. And also Spalding's Kieran McKenzie in Spalding 402. Now those 3 drivers are all tied as reserve. That is because in their respective leagues they've all got the same number of cars, and it means that they are resulting in equal qualifiers. They're not the top qualifier in their league, they are somewhere about, and they've all tied. Now there are 39 confirmed so far, so at the moment if all those 39 turn up to the event, then it will be a draw between those 3 drivers for 1 place. Now at the moment I think they draw straws. Unfortunately, as I said last night, I would much prefer a runoff to happen at the beginning of the event, so I would prefer to see those 3 drivers race for the chance to make the 40, who will then race for the national crown. So At the moment, those are the 3 drivers. If one car doesn't turn up, then that means there are 2 places up for grabs. If 3 don't turn up, then all 3 will automatically go through and then get to race. But that depends if they take their car. If they don't, then further down the reserve list, we've got Kev Austin in North Shropshire 157. Still worth taking the car. 4th reserve, could go through depending if some drop out or no show. There is a change on the 5th reserve. Originally, before yesterday, it was Jack Firth in White Rose 1. Now it is Phil Regan in York 60. He has actually secured that reserve spot after yesterday's qualifier, and the 6th qualifier listed is Radford 79 of Gary Ems. So they are the listed reserves. A few notable non-qualifiers. The highest non-qualifier who is competing in the Baz at the moment is actually Daffyd Jones in Typhy 12. He's currently sitting in 12th place, but he's not qualified through his league. All 3 round winners of the UK Championships haven't qualified. Alex Fretwell in Sturton 52 won round 1. Jake Law, I believe, won round 2. I think I'm not sure if I'm right about that. Yes, he did. And Jack Heisted, who won round 3 in Invicta Kent 961. Neither of those drivers have actually qualified. Also, who are featuring in the top 10 in the points at the moment in the UK Championships, Dean Smith in Ludlow 48 and James Parnell in Spalding 921. They're currently in the top 10 in the Championship, but neither have qualified. So those are our listed reserves and notable non-qualifiers. Apologies if I've missed anybody off. But I'm sure you will enjoy being a spectator anyway. So let's move on to, Radford 78. It's actually 79 on this sheet, so my mistake, Nick Taylor. But it does say 79. Excuse is on that. It's actually Radford 78 for Gary Ems. Hopefully he may get in and get to race on his home league for the Nationals. But we move on now to our list of 39 official listed qualifiers. And we start with our current and defending champion, of course, Jason Saunders in Wessex 20. Not sure how much Jason has raced in the car this year. Obviously, as defending champion, you have to race a certain number of races by the cut-off, and he has done that, so he has secured his place in the Toyota Yaris. Of course, the first non-mini men's nationals winner for about 40 years since that last changed, or it could even be 30 odd. I'm not sure. I haven't checked that far back, but he can't be discounted. Of course, he's going to be wanting to defend that title as much as he can in the Yaris. And he's already, I've seen some people supporting the Southern League, he's already a tip to retain, so it looks like he's got some strong support regardless of what goes on. Other previous champions in the field, we see 2-time winner Conor Griffiths in Severn Valley 101 will I'm sure be a favourite once again. Won the crown in 2014, 2017, didn't finish in 2018 when he was challenging for the lead, showing his form this year with a victory in the opening Baz round. Hasn't won since though, and currently sits 3rd in the points. But you know, when it comes to the Nationals, Severn Valley 101 will be a contender. One which people may have overlooked here is 10 years ago, Aaron Middleton won the men's nationals in Class 1. He is back in South Somerset 20. He is qualified and I think will be on the pace in the South Somerset 20 car. There's no reason why he wouldn't, despite being away from that seat, because of course he's been racing Class 7 for the past few years, but still a very good Class 1 racer, and could be a surprise tip because he's not raced it properly, and he will look to surprise a few on a little comeback there. Other champions, they're not in Class 1 but in other classes. We've got Ben Gould. The Goulds are very busy this year's Nationals, with both Ben and Sam racing 2 cars, Martin racing in Class 3 as well. We'll discuss more on that tomorrow. But Ben Gould is there, the 2-time Class 6 champion, races the Class 1 for a bit of fun, but in a competitive league with Shropshire, he has qualified in North Shropshire 443, and don't discount him either. Very quick, even in his Yaris. Other winners then, we turn to 2 junior champions from the past. We have got the first of the Irish contenders here, Down Autograss 55, Alexander Weir, won the crown in the juniors in 2016, that was in the saloons, and he will be looking to contend well again. on the Evesham circuit. And also we go back 14 years since Ian Ullathorne won the Junior Crown in Scunthorpe 25. 2005 he won that, and he's always been a contender in Class 1, was 5th last year in the national final in Scunthorpe 25. Didn't have a very good run at the last Baz round, had some issues with the car, but I'm sure they will be working hard to overcome that and get the car back on the pace. And again, Ian could be back in the national final. Now we look to some drivers who featured in last year's nationals results. We have Steve Edwards racing, of course, very local in Radford 137. He led the national final last year and finished 3rd in the end, and he will look to outdo that performance, and there's no reason to say why he can't and why he won't, and I'm sure could be a few people's tip to challenge once again. 4th place was taken by another Down Autographs car. This was Ben Scott in DA29. He surprised a few, possibly himself, with last year's performance, finishing 4th, taking a trophy home, and I'm sure he would love to equal or better that result in DA29. Now, a few people's tip for the crown comes next, and that is Alex Hill. Alex finished 6th last year in St Neots 164, and he currently leads the British Autograph Series after winning the previous round in round 3 at the Penhow venue of the Gloucester League Baz round, and he'll be looking to outdo the rest of them once again in SN 164. And the first of our micro contenders, I believe, and that is Carlo for Jamie Thorpe. He finished 7th in 2018, and wouldn't he love to make the final again and do a strong showing for the Carlo Club and the rest of the league. So those are our first 10 which are listed. Are you keeping up with us? Are you wanting me to hurry up and get things done and wait for your favourites to be mentioned? Well, we look at some of those, a couple more who have featured this year taking a major victory, and we go to Luke Smith, Star 174, winner of Baz Round 2, currently 2nd in the British Autograph Series, and we'll be hoping to feature at the Nationals. And another couple of drivers we go then, also featuring highly at the moment in the British Autograph Series. One of those took a major victory. That is Ashley Hutchins in PhD 12, who won the Map Open crown in that one. He currently sits 5th in the British Autograph Series. But could it be his clubmate then, Joe Brick in PhD 66, who currently sits in 4th in the table, so very competitive already, and we're 13 names down. PhD 66 could be a favourite or a surprise to some, but recent showings mean that he's going to be looking to be on the pace once more. We go to name number 14 then, and the first of the female drivers in the field of the men's nationals, and that is Lindsay Allen in Pennine 37. Lindsay currently sits 7th in the British Autograph Series, doesn't have a lot of luck when it comes to the Nationals, and I'm sure this year we'll be looking to overturn that and at least get in that elusive top 8 for the national final and try and make a bit of her own history by becoming the first lady racer to win men's Class 1. But that's still a bit of a challenge to go yet and defeat these other drivers. Next we go to another Yaris, and it's the York Club of Peter Watson, York 121. Peter sits in 8th in the table of the British Autograph Series and will look to do well. It does seem to be from history that the John Wilkin Raceway hasn't always been quite so favouritism to the Yarises, and the Micras actually tend to show a bit better. But well, there is some obviously strong Yaris contenders in this one looking to hold on to the crown for that side of the Japanese machinery, and Peter Watson could well do that. Of course, the car won the ladies' crown a couple of years ago, and he'll be looking to emulate that this year. Next we go to another Yaris, but it's North Wales, and that's Rhys Edwards, and Rhys rounds out 9th place in the standings of the Baz so far in North Wales 44, and he'll be looking to show well once again and improve on what he's done so far this year and try and feature highly in this elusive lineup. Next we go then to drivers who are running in the top 10 of the UK Championship so far, and we start with the person who is running 2nd at the moment, and that is Kane Parnell in Spalding 129, and Kane actually won the Map Open last year when it was last held at Evesham, and as I say, that's why I say the micros tend to run better at this venue than what they do at some of the others, and it could be a contender here. Along with back to the minis, we've got Will Drayton in St Neots 124, currently sitting 4th in the UK Championships. Has had a bit of an up and down time so far in the UK Championships, but the car is quick, and if he gets the break, he tends to run strongly in the results, and that's why he's sitting 4th in the table. Joining those there then, we've got 2 more micros, one from Kent, one from Leewood. They both sit 7th and 9th in the standings, and that's Mitch Hollingsby in IK Treble 8 and Mark Shepherd in Leewood 21. Mitch, I've seen some good showings from him in his little micro. Mark Shepherd tends to get in 1 or 2 scrapes, but hopefully he will have some clean running this time around and feature well in Leewood 21. Now, a change of driver, although it is down on the qualifying list, but Evesham 100 is the ex-Nick Taylor car. It's actually going to be driven by Andy Kelsey. Andy made the purchase on the car and has qualified and will be looking to go well. Showed fairly strongly at a recent Evesham meeting, I think, a few weeks back, sometime around, and was running against the strongest cars in the league and visitors there. And Andy, of course, is a former Class 1 racer anyway, so he knows the drill. Former Miniman, now in the Yaris, and I think will be straight on the pace in this company. Next, we've got a couple more drivers who could achieve great things. We've got Ollie Stevens in Ludlow 55. Very nice car, goes well also. We'll be looking to make an impression. Along with Peter Watson, not trying to only in fact, Mark Watson. I've got Peter written down twice for some reason, but Mark in the 123, the red Micra. He'll be looking to obviously outdo Peter and the rest in the York 123 car. And somebody who could surprise as well from my part of the world, Scunthorpe 701, Arison Robson in the Aris has shown very well at the Scunthorpe meetings and in CTTRO qualifying so far this year, and will look to show well on the big stage also. Next, could it be a continuation of the family legacy in Class 1 with Ben Griffiths in Severn Valley 8? Ben doesn't race as much further afield as what the rest of them do, but I'm sure will be a contender also and look to do well. So that's 25 names down. We've still got a fair way to go before we get to the end. Let's press on. Rich Owen is back for another Nationals in North Wales 51, former Class 2 racer, always competitive there, competitive as well in Class 1. North Wales 51 will of course look to put one over the rest. Then we go to Dave Poole in Stroud 30, another very tidy car, very quick as well, and could be a contender. Then we go to 2 drivers from Kent, our second lady racer in the field, Zoe Atkins in Invicta Kent 421 and David Jenner in a very nice new Micra from the photo I saw earlier today in Invicta Kent 561. They could do well on a track which conditions not too dissimilar to at home at Kent, although not like recently because Kent's track was fairly wet when I last saw it. One of the changes in the lineup, and that's because of applications going in before qualifying had finished, and that was for the Southern League, and it is not Wessex 43 Jordan Barlow, it is actually South Somerset 1 Justin Hardy, and Justin has been at the Nationals several times, won a race here or there as well. Can he string it all together and secure a major result, which is fairly overdue, it has to be said. Right, we go to name number 31, and we go to the Scarborough Club next with Jamie Hussey in Scarborough 223. He has a clubmate Carl Stuttard in Scarborough 21 as they both look to achieve well for the Scarborough Club. And then we go to the Dales League, a couple of Micras to make a challenge. We've got John Fishwick in Yorkshire Dales 91 and then Josh Bowes in a very tidy Micra in Yorkshire Dales 106. Next we go further down to Essex and the Concord Club. Nathan Tever switched from a Mini to a Micra I think this year and has shown pretty well with it, and will be looking to do well for the ever enthusiastic Concord Essex Club. And then we move to Leicester with Sean Gallagher in Leicester 14, former Class 10 racer, is now in Class 8 but also enjoying life in Class 1, and he has qualified for the East Midland League and the Leicester Club. Excuse me. We have another Irish contender now. We've got Cork 998 of Martin Murphy with an immaculate mini. Hope he makes it over and hope he has a good showing as well in that one. And then we move to the final two I'm not so familiar with. We've got Joshua Hodge in Penhow 2, which Jason Quick has just mentioned. The Penhow 2 car, Black Micra from what I've seen, not seen how he's fared, but he's obviously done well to qualify, and we hope he has a good event and a good showing. And finally, one which I'm not familiar with at all is Cork 300. That is Kieran Turner. So that is the list of 39 who is mentioned. Sorry if you've got bored as I've read through that. But now we go to the bit more exciting bit. Nice of at least 100 of you to still be joining me here on this Monday evening. So I am now going to list my 8 finalists in no particular order. Whether you agree with it or disagree, that is entirely up to you. You can say yes or no, really, but I am going to mention them now. So the first name, in no particular order, I am going to predict. Let me just double check that I've got my result the same as who I've placed through, and we can safely say yes. So the first name I'm going to put through into my Class 1 final is PhD 12. That's my first one through, Ashley Hutchins. So Ashley is the first name I'm putting through. Joining him, I'm going to predict, is Radford 137 of Steve Edwards to make it through to another Nationals final. The third name I'm going to place through is Severn Valley 101 of Connor Griffiths to make it through. I'm going to predict a non-mini next, and the fourth name I'm going to say is Spalding 129 of Kane Parnell, and then that is 4 down, 4 to go. Next I'm going to say another PhD car, this of 66, Joe Brick, to make it through into the Nationals final. 3 left. St. Neots 164 of Alex Hill to go through as well. 2 to go. I'm going to say Star 174 of Luke Smith into the final, and last but not least I'm going to say your current champion Wessex 20 of Jason Saunders to make it through to the final. So that is my prediction. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with it? Do you completely disagree? Are you supporting somebody else? Just let me know what you think. And I have to apologise, but for some reason I have a spazzy eye going on. Which I don't know why, but it is really annoying for me, and I hope it's not too off-putting, but yes, it's starting to do my head in. I don't know why it's doing that. But, yeah, so let me know very quickly, what do you think to that? Do you agree with my list of 8? Do you think there's somebody I have missed off? But don't forget, it's all a bit of fun. It is not too serious. If you're not in that list of 8, use it to push yourself to prove me wrong at the Nationals very, very soon. So not many people have said something different, so it can't be disagreeing too much. That's not a bad thing. We'll see in a few weeks whether we get it right or not. So let's see what we've got. I'm going to say then that for the results, 8th place, I'm going to say PhD 66 of Joe Brick. Thanks, Nick. You said that last year, and it proved me wrong. You never know, it could prove wrong again. But I'm going to say PhD 66 in 8th place of Joe Brick. 7th, maybe a surprise, but I'm actually going to say Wessex 20 of Jason Saunders down in 7th. 6th place, I'm going to predict Spalding 129 of Kane Parnell in 6th. 5th place, I'm going to say PhD 12 of Ashley Hutchins. So that is 5th to 8th. Now my top 4. I'm going to make a change here, and I'm going to say 4th place will actually go to Severn Valley 101 of Connor Griffiths. 3rd, I'm going to predict St. Neots 164 of Alex Hill. So that's down to the top 2 now, and whether you agree or disagree, but don't forget, it could all be different on the day. But second place, I'm going to say Radford 137 of Steve Edwards, which means my prediction says Star 174 Luke Smith for men's Class 1 this year. So what do you think to my predictions? Let me know in the comments. Again, what's your agreement on it? Do you have a completely different view of things? It's great to see people throwing the names out there, who they're predicting, who they're supporting, who they're cheering on, and that's what we want you to do on the Nationals weekend. Cheer on your fellow members, even if they're not. Cheer on your mates, obviously, to try and secure big things. So let me know what you think. I'm going to post that list of results online as well. It looks like there's some support there for the Star Club and Luke Smith as well. Good to see Jack Craven supporting Alexander Weir. You never know, could the return of the form from 2016 in the juniors move through into the men's? But once again, let me know what you think in the comments, and again when I post the list out. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it. Lost connection, now we're back. Let me know what you think in the comments, what you think to the video overall as well. We will be back tomorrow with Class 3 for the 2019 Men's National Championships. Get throwing those comments out there for who you are supporting on that as well. It's quite an interesting lineup for Class 3. Not sure what time you'll see that one going. Hopefully it'll be about the same time as this evening. And you never know, we might be back outside in the in my garden. You can see the little shed behind me, which won't be at the Nationals this year because I wasn't good enough. But hopefully we can support those who are. Thank you very much for joining me, Russ from Grass Chat, as always. And we will see you tomorrow for Class 3. See you then.